Okay, guys, this is Intuitive Anthony. I'm doing my first live. um, I really don't know how to act with these. Because this is, like I said, this is my first one. If you want to donate to the Cash App, guys, it is $ Anthony Young, capital A, capital Y, 1978. I'm gonna give people time to get in. I sent out a firing shot to Facebook, and I'm pretty sure it did it to Instagram. Not really sure about TikTok. TikTok's a little hit and miss. I mean, anybody with a voice can say something on TikTok, whether it's worth or worth not hearing. Unfortunately, that's how it is, guys. I've seen some pretty crazy stuff on there that doesn't really pertain to what I'm interested in and what I've been through. So I sent out a firing warning shot, and I'm checking out the software and doing this video, guys. But what I'm going to do, when we get some people in the room, I'm going to talk about the 9 traits of, basically it's the narcissistic personality disorder. I know it personally. I mean, that's a very clinical term. Narcissistic personality disorder. Basically, these are evil people. So I'm going to give people time to get in, let all that come about. I mean, I am running a little late, but I didn't realize there were so many security keys and things that had to go into there. But we're going to get there. So I'm just giving people time to get in. Please keep in mind that this is my first time. So, guys, please be nice to me. But as time goes on, I will get better, and things will keep moving. But while we're waiting for people to come in, I'm assuming that a lot of people that are going to be in here or that are coming in have dealt with this kind of thing before, where you feel like you just could not do anything right. And these people were just completely unhinged. And I'm a little stressed out, so don't mind that. But I'm trying not to put it in y'all face, even though it's on camera. These people were unhinged. You just couldn't do anything to help them. You couldn't please them. Basically, you just couldn't please them. You couldn't make them happy. But you are in space. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Donnie, I'm in space. I'm working with the green screen. And due to the donations and stuff, I really want to try to give you guys a better viewing experience, as well as what I have to say. So I really want to make sure that, I kind of mix it up. Keep it interesting. But a lot of people that's going to be coming in, Donnie, are people who have dealt with this. I'm like, me personally, I dealt with it with my family. Like, my family it wasn't really my original family. Because my mom had her issues, and I got taken by one aunt and given to another aunt. And the second aunt turned out to be a monster. That first year, it was nice, though. It was, Christmas presents galore. That was the love bomb phase. It was all of this sweet nothings. And then, after that, dude fell off of that whole experience. That's when the trauma happened. That's when the nightmare began. And it was something I never thought I would have to go through, because most people are really focused on what they want to do when they grow up. You know what I mean? What they want to do when they grow up. And who they want to be, what kind of goals they want to accomplish. I was mainly worried about surviving. You know what I mean? And a lot of y'all were out there like that too. Were worried about surviving. And I was like, how could you love me one minute and be a monster the next? And then for many, many years. I mean, because I had to endure that kind of trauma for, I guess, from the age of 10 to 17. But even sitting in the back of that car with her and her kids and being berated, treated bad, talked down to, and just completely treated badly, I knew that this wasn't right. This is not how normal people behave. I mean, I understand people have a bad day. I mean, we all understand that people have a bad day. But this was something other than that. This was entirely other than that. And as time goes on, like God will reveal things to you over time. And see, to a lot of people who don't understand what narcissistic abuse is, they have no idea what we're talking about. They have no idea what this is. Because you wouldn't think that somebody could be this horrible and this wretched. Like, how could a person like that exist for so long and be allowed to inflict that poison to so many people? Because it probably wasn't just me. It was probably people they came across with in the past, or people that got wise to their games and their lies and all the garbage they were putting out there. And they started to see, like, okay, something ain't right with this person. You know what I mean? Something is really not right with this person. And me, I was 10 years old at the time. I mean, I had already been taken out of my mom's care and displaced. What? I'm on live.
I know, baby. Are you on live?
Yeah.
The girls want to say hey to you.
All right, guys. We're still waiting for people to come in the room. F. McKinnon, is that right? Hey, guys. I want to thank you guys for showing up. And this is my first live, guys, so please be patient. This is Cutie. This is our newest. 2 months ago. So it's basically not the family. Not the family you're born in. It's the family you create.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I had nobody in my family. I mean, because there was a lot of people in my family that actually knew what was going on. Or they had an idea that something rotten was going on here. But nobody said nothing. I guess because everybody was in fear of the big bad queen. Everybody was scared of Maleficent.
Right.
And it just so happens, you know, not to be sexist or anything like that, but it just so happens that it was a lot of women in my life. I mean, we had very few men that actually stuck around. And, you know, that's a whole other conversation about the black male community and that whole thing. But most of them were women. So everybody was scared of the big bad queen. Beta, come on, I'm in the middle of a video.
What you got your beta on?
This is Beta. This is my second. This is my snuggler. My little baby. Y'all gonna have to sit down. I gotta go.
Come on, girls.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Come on, baby.
But you be good, okay? I'll see you in a little bit.
Come on, girls.
Everybody was scared of the big bad queen. It was way, like, I mean, because that first year, I mean, I had left with my mom, and then my mom wasn't quite living right. So mom came and took her. And I kind of realized that my sister was kind of like, she kind of was standoffish to me. She didn't really want to mess with me. And come to find out, the reason why one aunt sent us to live with another was because my sister was already given over to the enemy. So she was spinning the web, telling one aunt that they were getting money for us, and then we got sent to another one, and this wasn't working out, and it was just a whole bunch of red tape and a whole lot of BS. And then as you get older, God reveals things to you. You start, because I think for a very big period of life, God had me with blinders on. So because if I would have dealt with the realization of what was going on when I was that young, who knows where I'd have been right now? Who knows who I would have been right now? Probably the same thing with you guys. Like, I am going to kill Bill. Yeah, I'm getting ready to kill Bill. So he protected me in a way where I did not have, he kept it from me. He kept it from me so that I would not see it. And then as you get older, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. You start to really see. And you start seeing the players, the people, who's had what hand in it. And in my situation, I got successful. I mean, I got a 3-bedroom house, brand new house. And it's paid for, you know, and everything's done, everything's nice. But these people have not been to my house. No, they have not. And they're not coming to my house. I mean, ever coming to my house. And it was kind of like, over time, God revealed certain things to me. But to those who don't know, I'm talking about narcissistic abuse. Unfortunately, I had to deal with it as a child. And I gave so many years to so many bad people. And I know y'all feel that way too. Like, if you knew back then what you know now, the game would have been totally different. And you got to agree with me on that. But it was this well-known secret in the family what was going on, but nobody was brave enough to stand up to Maleficent. Nobody was brave enough to stand up to the evil queen. Because there were some things that was done in the past that was a little suspect. I know about them. And it's amazing how God is communicating with you even when you don't know he's communicating with you. Yeah. Like as of late, the last week and a half, I've been having a lot of dreams. So I went out today and bought me a dream journal to keep on my bed. Because there's so much information coming in, and the world is in such a state right now that you're getting bombarded with this information. You really got to get it down. Because you may not be able to use it right then, but as time goes on, you sit back and think about it, you'll be able to use it. And you'll be able to help somebody, which is all we're trying to do here. It's trying to help each other. Because if I can save somebody from going through the hell that I went through, more power. More power. Because that first Christmas, I had never, when I lived with my mom, we were in a motel room. Then my aunt came and took us because apparently I was like 3 or 4 years old. My mother wasn't living right, so my aunt took us in. But then my sister was spinning her web and was already a complete narc by that point. We got sent to another aunt. But this is the thing, the aunt that I lived with came and told me, "You want to come live with me?" And I looked at her, "No, I don't want to live with you." Well, as a kid at 10 years old, what control do you have? So they sent me to live with her. So when we got out of the Greyhound bus station, lo and behold, who was there with their gaggle of kids? Get out of my office with that. So I go, Lamont, so I out. And then you, never mind. Anyway, continue on. So I really had no say. And so what it was is that the demon that had possessed this woman told her that there was a chosen one in that house. And you need to go get those kids. Because one of them got something on them. So if you bring me their head, I'll give you what you want. Now, I will say this. I don't agree with anybody selling their soul. But at least the idiots in Hollywood have something to show for it. An estate, a mansion, a legacy, something like that. These people are doing this for nothing. They are that angry with God. They are that pissed with God. They hate God that much. They ain't even got nothing to show for it. Most of them are still trudging around. And I'm only speaking from my experience, guys. Everybody comes from different walks of life, and I know that. I know that. And I don't, but I'm speaking from my point of view. So you mean to tell me you grew up in poverty, in the ghetto, or trailer park, or whatever lower income bracket or position in life you have, and you did all of this and still ain't got nothing? What sense does that make? It's like the movie Zoolander. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. So you mean to tell me you doing all of this and ain't got nothing to show for it? But the point still remains. This demon told her there's a chosen one in the house. So me and my sister went to live with this person. Check this out now. This is where it gets good. I was there at 10. My sister's 4 years older than me at 14. So we was maybe there after the Christmas love bomb. That's what it's called, a love bomb, where they make you think you are the pinnacle, that you are just a godsend. But in turn, they're going to treat you like you're the lowest scum. That's what's so, the cognitive dissonance is just unbelievable. So you don't know whether you're coming or going all the time. We was there maybe 6 months after the love bomb. Something minuscule happened because they kept me out of everything. They kept me out of the loop. I don't know what it is, but I think I know what it is now. As I sat there in that back seat every day being abused and treated this way and moved this way and that way and treated this way, God was using me to witness everything that was going on. So about 6 months into us living there, my sister got thrown out on the street. So now, instead of it being 2 of us that this narcissistic abuse was being focused on. One was gone, and there was me. So I'm sitting here in the back seat for like, I think I was like maybe 5 years in, every day, without fail. Bam, 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 bam. Then when I got older, I realized the reason why she was thrown out, the devil had already had her. The chosen one in this household between me and my sister that was supposed to be attacked wasn't her. So this person felt like, hey, that's not my kid. I came here for one particular purpose. All of this extraness, I don't need. I only got a bounty on that head. So that one went out the door, and it was focused on me. But in the back of my mind, there was a time when I was about to graduate high school where I almost lost it. Thank God I had this guidance counselor. I'm not going to say their name. But about 3 hours crying and just falling apart. Oh, wow. Somebody just popped up at your house? For 4th of July. Y'all guys, don't mind my dogs. They always seize an opportunity to be seen, so forgive them. After about like 3 hours crying in the guidance counselor office, I had gotten to the point where I knew it was almost over. Because there's a certain point when you get to a certain age in high school, when you're about to age out, basically age out of the system, or whatever you want to call it, where you can go access your school records. You failed because you were this. The test to make sure to see if you're crazy so that they can get a crazy check, lock you in the back of their house. All you're going to want to do is please them, so they got an eternal source of narcissistic supply while they get your money and make you their prisoner. That's not going to happen with me. But for some reason, I always seem to know that in the back of my mind, there was something there that was like, But I kept my mouth quiet. And when I was in school, I would go to school, I would be in that car being abused every which way. And then I would go to school, and then I would be able to be myself. And what happened was people started to notice who I was when I was outside of their presence. Her and her narcissistic kids. So there was like contests and competitions. I started winning. I'm in South Carolina. So there was an audition for TV 15 News for Kids, where kids can actually be the host, the on-field reporter and all this stuff. So I went into the mall and did the audition. The guy had the cue card. I went in. Hey, I watched news. I always found a way to escape the torment I was dealing with at home. So I went in there and I didn't even read the cue card. Hi, this is Anthony Young. I'm talking to people at Myrtle Square Mall, finding out how people shop during this holiday season, blah, blah, blah. We'll be right back right after this. And went to hand him the microphone. And the guy behind the camera came out from behind the camera and looked at me. I was like, okay, because there's this bright light like it is here. Can't really see people's faces. And the guy with the cue card just dropped it and looked at me. Write your name down here. So I wrote my name down. They called me. I won the contest. I had to go host the news for the state of South Carolina in Columbia at the set. But when I got there, I had to ride with you-know-who, my caregiver, the narcissist. So while I'm up there on the stage, on the set with these massive lights, people, and I'm getting all this information that I got to remember and recall and read the teleprompters and do all of this. And I had no problem with this before because I'm a very social creature when I want to be. But I do not like being moved a certain way. Thank you for your gratitude, Soul Star. Thank you so much. But my aunt, the narcissist, had to take me there. So when I'm at there and I'm trying to film this, and they're giving me my cues, my points, teleprompter is always easy. She's in the background. Sit up straight. Do this. The people behind the camera and in the sound booth up top all knew that something was going on. They knew that something was right. They knew that something was a problem where the audition didn't line up with me being on set. But I was still under the yoke of this narcissist, and they were doing everything they could to destroy me. So she had me tested in school. Because you act like you're the craziest person in the world, but no, that's just projection. She projecting her nonsense onto me. It's amazing how the craziest people in the world will call you crazy. That's nonsense, right? That's madness. So she wanted to have me tested. But in the back of my mind, something was telling me what the game was. Guys, if you want to donate to the Cash App, let me just drop this in real quick. Cash App is $ Anthony Young, capital A, capital Y, 1978. Now let's get back to it. The funny thing is that she was like, she had me tested, so they called me out of class, called me into the thing, and they had a series of tests. I'm doing a test. This is not complicated. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with these people. So I just got to keep my mouth closed, keep my head down, and get out of this. This was the weirdest thing. So when I got home, maybe a week or two later, the results came in. Hey, Anthony, and she called me, and she's like, well, you act like you the craziest person in the world. Projection. But when you go to school, you the smartest person in the world. No. And I was thinking in my mind, and God held my tongue, because you got not only that maleficent narcissist, the queen bee, the queen of all evil. You got her little minions running around. She's Gru, and they're the minions, but not in the friendly way we love. But I'm thinking to myself, ain't nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with y'all. I don't know what the hell this is. But when I got about to like graduate, the weight of it had started to crush me. Thank God for that guidance counselor that just let me sit there and fall apart. And I was like, okay. I knew that something big was coming. Because you don't work that hard to rob a house that's empty. If ain't nobody in the house, what TV are you going to get? What is your goal? What are you going to accomplish? If there's nothing there and this person is so crazy and so stupid and so dumb and so pathetic and all these other words that they use to describe somebody who actually has emotions, I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, you've heard it before. Oh, you weak. Or they mistake your kindness for weakness. Or you're this or you're that. No, I'm not. The table is stacked right now. The table is stacked against me. The table is stacked. There's you and all your little minions. So it would not be beneficial to me to speak up right now. But this is how things come full circle. I went off after high school because I walked to school because she told me I failed because I was stupid. But when I got my high school records, come to find out she had held me back. So I was able to see all of this. I walked to school in my cap and gown. When I walked home, she was in the yard watering the flowers. Well, she had done her best to hold me back. So she thought what was in that case that my diploma was supposed to be in was supposed to be a certificate. She didn't realize that while she was stealing my money while I was working my summer job, I was also getting up early and going to school to make up the credits that I was missing to graduate. So when I got in the yard, let me see your diploma. So I handed it to her and she saw it was an actual diploma. Oh yeah, well I got you a present at the house. No, you didn't. But nope, I'm still not out of the belly of the beast yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out of the belly of the beast yet. So what I did was, nice, Soul Star. Nice. Intuitive student. Thank you so much. I went off and went to college. Now, this is the messed up thing because my mom had already passed away. That's a whole nother thing. My mom passed away, and she was still abusing me the whole time. She called me in the kitchen. She was like, your mom's real sick. She's in the hospital. She might die. Now, there was a voice that told me in my ear, she's dead already. A couple months later, my mom died in like September, so we buried her in October. And I'm putting the Christmas decorations because I like to stay with my grandfather because at least if I stayed with him, I could get the hell away from her and her kids. So I would stay there. My granddaddy taught me everything I know. My granddaddy was my mother, my father, and he was like 98, almost 100 when he died. So I used to talk to my granddaddy all the time because I wanted to pick that brain. Because if you are that old, you have learned some things. You have seen some things. I said, Granddaddy, what's the worst part about being older? He said, you still feel like you do as a child on the inside, but your body won't let you do it anymore. He said, when you get a chance to get out of here, run. Don't come back. He said, because you're the only one of them, pardon my French, that's going to be worth a damn in here. All of them are shit. You're going to be the one that's going to make it. So when you leave, don't come back. 2 months later, after my mom died in October, I was putting up the Christmas decorations at my granddad's house. And in the Christmas closet, there's the reindeer you put on the yard with the lights and all that. I didn't know what a black wreath meant because I think my mom passed away right when I was 14. So I went from kind of, just being moved from place to place to setting up traditions, which is why I'm so big about traditions in my house now. You know what I mean? Christmas, I want the fireplace going. I want the stockings for me, my dogs, and my baby. That's how it is. I put the black wreath on the door. I didn't know what it meant. This girl in class, this is how God works, y'all. He uses a smile, and he has a sense of humor. Oh, yeah. Have you ever looked at the aardvark? Yeah, he's funny. I put the wreath on the door and went to school, and the girl said, I know why you put the wreath on the door. First of all, how do you know where I live? Why you watching my house? Whatever. But that's kind of a thing that all of us chosen ones have to deal with. People are watching us. Always. Because we the ones to beat. She said, you only did this because such and such is dead. I said, who? What? I didn't say nothing. Because it wasn't part of my family. It was a part of you know who. So I got home. Sitting with my granddad chilling or whatever. I said, okay, let's see. I guess I should say something. I need to tell you something. I'm talking to the narcissist. I should tell you something. Somebody said that the reason why I put the wreath on the door is because so-and-so is dead. The house went cold. I'm talking about when the energy of all life in the house washed out the door and ice came in. The narcissist left, made a couple phone calls. Other people went out scouring the neighborhood. I was sitting on the porch writing in my journal, writing poetry, processing what I've been dealing with. So everybody thought I was weak and weird. No, I'm processing. I'm in crazy town. I'm in crazy town. A couple hours later, they came back. Yeah, they did. But used me as a lightning rod for something that I didn't even know I was doing. But see, that's what I'm saying. God is talking to you in the most random and most quiet ways, guys. So do not ever give up on that. He is talking to you even in the dead silence. Like you wake up and you just got an idea on your heart. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. It will. He's going to confirm this through multiple ways. But I know you guys have dealt with this kind of stuff before. This is the scariest thing. But, I'll be 45 next month. Yeah, 45. I'll be 45 next month. My mother passed away when I was 35 years old. When she was 35 years old, I'm sorry. When she was 35 years old, I made it to 36. And I had a breakdown. And I was like, my mother had kids. I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? That's not my walk in life. So how in the world am I here? She had a purpose. I didn't have one. So I prayed a lot for a purpose. Not knowing God was doing this purpose the whole time. The whole time. But he couldn't reveal it all to me at once because it would have been overwhelming. It would have just, your mind would have been blown. Like, if you really think about it, and how they are so adamant to come at you every which way but sideways, to come at a person who's supposed to be pathetic, who's supposed to be weak, dumb, stupid, why would you waste your time with somebody who obviously to you have no value? If they have no value to you, come on, Sapphire. Okay, all right. Got one more brother. Come on, baby girl. If this person has no value, why are you focusing so much of your energy on this? That makes no sense. That's madness, right? Y'all got way more power. Way more power than they're ever going to admit. They're not going to admit that. They're not going to admit it. Because when I started with my channel, because in the beginning of my channel, guys, if you look on my channel, and I'm pretty sure not, I hope you guys do look. If you look on my channel, I did country music reactions because my granddaddy liked country music. I'm not a dishonest person. I tell it exactly the way it is. Brutally honest. And that's probably where my problem lies at. I was doing a lot of different content. It did not take off for me until I started talking about what I had been through. Because real recognize real. Fake only takes you so far. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can put on a mask, but eventually that makeup comes off, and then that person wakes up in the bed beside somebody who don't look like Coyote Ugly. You'd rather chew off your own arm than to wake that person up. See, that's all smoke and mirrors. But when I started talking about what I've been through, oh, trust me. Oh, the people that I was talking about, the narcissists, oh, they came out of the woodwork. They were showing up to my job. I mean, highly heated. That sounds like a them problem. They ain't paying my bills. But you get to this point where I was like, God, I lived a year longer than my mother. And I was like, she had a purpose. She had kids, but she's not here. I have no kids. What is my purpose? God's been working this purpose the whole time. The whole time. All of that time y'all been going through what you've been going through. He's been in there. He's been in there. And I think it may be the older you get, you start getting closer to the veil so you can see through it more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you guys' ages are. And it is very, very confusing, Soulstar. It's very confusing. But be patient and just be quiet and be in the still of that moment, because it will all become apparent the older you get, because God has perfect timing for everything. And I started noticing that when I bought this house, I wasn't talking to them. I mean, because why would I want to talk to somebody who don't like me? Family members started trying to conjure themselves up. Hey, how you doing? I don't know you like that. But when they didn't realize I was in my 40s, I was already done. I was already fed up with people pleasing, and nah, I don't care what you think about me. All right. Aqua, thank you so much for feeling the connection, because I think that we all have a lot in common. I really do. I really do. Because these people are so predictable and so sad. And as long as you know that the depravity of their hearts, they will do anything they think can hurt you. There's no level that they will not go to. They are just reprehensible. Like, they just have no, they have no shame. They have no shame. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But all you can do, you woke up at 47, McKeon? I think I woke up around 42. After I got my second house, because the first house I bought was a fixer-upper, and I knew I was getting a settlement. We were getting a settlement, and I had somebody from Angie's List, because that's when Angie's List was out. And man was like, look, you just need to get rid of this and get another one. But right around the time when we bought this house and purchased it and paid for it outright, something switched. And even my manager told me, she said, when you start getting in your 40s, you're going to wake up one day and you just ain't going to care no more. It's going to be different. It's going to be, I remember the day when I lost my mind. I didn't lose my mind, but I got everybody. I put everybody where they belong. You know what I mean? You can't project your good heart on people because people will let you down every time. The only person who doesn't is that man upstairs, and that's what it comes down to. But we go through a lot. We go through a lot, man. We go through a lot. But trust me, on the other side of that, the days get better and better. Because those things that used to rattle us before, don't rattle us no more. And like when I got the house and stuff like that, I had family and narcissists come out of the woodwork. Oh, you don't want to help the family no more. Trying to push on those triggers that I had before. No, I'm not going to help the family. No, we're not doing that. And then they would try to pull up the most idiotic things just to try to find a foothold back into your life. Because without the sun, all life on this planet is dead. And without you, they're dead too. They know it. The only thing between them and the grave and hell is you. You are their entertainment. You are the sun. If you don't rise in the east and set in the west every day, no life can be had with these people. None. And people think that chosen ones is an ego boost or like we like arrogant or full of pride. No, chosen ones we are chosen to suffer more than most because we can handle it. God only gives his strongest wars to his strongest soldiers. So when they see it from their mindset. They're projecting their ideals onto you. Oh, you chosen, huh? You the big bad. You the big bad. No. We are chosen to suffer more than most. So whatever game and little games you got playing, we done seen this before. We done seen this before. So we know how to move along with this. Yeah, it is sick, Soul Star. It is. It is very, very sick. Tony, you had 1978, baby, too? My birthday, guys, I'm going to give it to you. 8778. Tell me the main angel numbers. I don't know, guys. I'm just saying. This whole thing. And then when you think of what I've been, like, since I have been in this place where I'm not dealing with them. I make my videos. Oh, they got their problems. But I went ahead and blocked each one of them individually. You have no access to my TikTok. You have no access to my Instagram. You have no access to my Facebook. I get these nameless, faceless profiles trying to friend request me. Nah, we not getting down like that. I don't know you. What I did was I blocked the sunlight from their lives. And if you cut them off and went no contact, or if you have to deal with them through children or something like that, you done great rock them, they can't get nothing but a hello and a goodbye out of you. They feel that. And they are very, very perceptive at being able to read social cues and stuff. So they are very, very, I want to say, not well in the fact of what they do. But if they took that energy that they put into trying to destroy us and focused it on themselves, their kids, their legacy, what they want to build, what they want to create, they will be some of the most successful people in the world. But they can't get past themselves, guys. They really can't get past themselves. Guys, give me 1 second. Let me go sit my puppy down. I'll be right back. Please don't go nowhere. Excuse me, Sapphire. Come on. You know there's a whole living room in here. Come on. All right, guys, I'm back. The thing of it is, chosen ones, we don't wear that as like a lot of people who don't have that spirit in them think that we're using that to make ourselves better than the other person. No, we're not. We're not. We don't move that way. We never move that way. But see, what they're doing is they're projecting their own insecurities onto us. That's not what it is. We've chosen this. We've suffered more than most. Some of the stuff that you guys can tell me, some of the stuff I'm telling you guys, other people would not understand this. They'd be like, there ain't no way in the world that happened. Yeah, it did happen. It did happen. And we got the scars to prove it. But see, all they want to see is what they would do with the title Chosen Ones. It sounds like it's something to brag about. But if you look at our situation, there's a lot of parts of our lives we wish we could just do away with it. But God's going to wipe all those tears from our eyes, guys. We just got to hang on. And it's amazing because I can still remember. I'll be 45 next month. But I remember when I turned 36, when I was 35 years old at the time. I have a purpose. You guys have a purpose too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We got to reach out there to each other, guys. We really do. Because these people, their time is up and they know it. In case in point, a lot of people that have been holding power for such a long time. I mean, taking case in point, the Titan with the Titanic, that same hubris, that same ego is what caused them to go down in a tin can, basically, just to prove that they were mighty. The same ego is what sank the Titanic, is what happened here. But see, these are people that are in the top 1%. The table is switching now. What was the head is now the foot. And what is the foot is becoming the head. And a lot of people don't like that. But they're going to have to get over that. Because we have dealt with knowing how to move around people. Going into a room, and when you come in the room, everybody get quiet. You ain't saying nothing. You just trying to exist, and they can't let you go. Because the game is over. The time is up. And they know this. They know it. So they already know where they're going. So they're gonna try to take as many down with them. But as we are awakened to the truth, and we know that there is no way that we can continue to let this go on, with that knowledge comes power. We gotta help each other. We gotta help each other. We gotta build each other up. We all get weak, Aqua. We all get weak. And they're starting to get their calm. Like, if you will notice that when people start to get very, very quiet, painfully quiet. Like, there's been about a month or so. I mean, maybe about a month ago, I had 2 extended family members contact me out of nowhere. I don't really rock with them. They ain't had nothing to say to me. I ain't never had nothing to say to them. But the sides are being drawn. The wheat are being separated from the tares. These same people that had these same problems was looking for somebody. They were looking for a leader. And a lot of times, the abuse that you went through, there's a whole host of people that done been through that same abuse. But they looking for a leader. And that's what we're doing. We're raising leaders. That's what you guys are doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Spanish lady. This is what I'm trying to do. I mean, we are leaders. We are leaders. And we didn't go through all this for nothing. Because in our perfect world, I would have just wanted to be, what could have been, an actor, movie star. Man, singing thing didn't quite work out. I'll be honest with you. But we could have chased all of our dreams over the rainbows and on. But from the time we could remember, we were always under attack. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And these people are just getting to the point where they'll get strangely quiet. Because as the last become first, the first will become last. So on your ascent and all this information you're acquiring is bringing you to a certain level and bringing you to more and more knowledge and getting closer to the Creator. What goes, like a seesaw, when one goes up, one comes down. That's how it has to be. That's how it has to be. So when they get painfully quiet and you're like, man, it's been kind of quiet out here in these old dusty trails for a while. Yeah. Because online or to anybody else, or when they meet people, they're going to pretend like they got it all in the bag. No, they don't. No, they don't. But instead of them saying, you know what, I messed up and picked the wrong person, like you, Soul Star, male, Spanish lady, instead of them saying, you know what, I messed up, I shouldn't have picked this person. Maybe I should try to, find out who I am. Oh, no, because that's all they've known. And they can never admit they're wrong. So they have to continuously go until they're going to keep driving and driving until they run out of road. And it's unfortunate. And just because I said these are 9 traits, guys, I want to give you some of these. A sense of self-importance. Now, y'all know about that, right? We are more intelligent and wise. We really are. But our secret weapon is not giving them too much information. Not giving them too much information. Because they are very good readers at cues and stuff. But as long as we close this, keep these open, they're going to keep throwing. They're going to keep throwing it at you. But if you give a person enough rope, they always hang themselves. They always do. And their ego will not let them be quiet. Their ego will not let them be quiet because the enemy, Satan, is the first narcissist of them all. I'm not bowing to them. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I want to be God. Don't tell me that ain't a narcissist. Sense of self-importance. Preoccupied with power, beauty, and success. Sound familiar? Entitled. Yeah. Can only be around people who are important or special, which is why he was at the throne of God until he felt he was, right? And the older you get, the more these doors start swinging open. And the older you get and the more you have a chance to look at your life and review and see where you want to go ahead, the closer you start getting to that veil. And if you put a thin sheet up against the window, from a certain distance, you're not going to be able to see out that window, but the closer you get, you're going to be able to see between those fabrics. And there is where it is. Interpersonally explosive for their own gain. They will say whatever or do whatever or perform any horrible, unspeakable act just to get what they need to get. Phineas, I love that name, Phineas and Ferb. I got to check that out. I got to download that. Yes, they will hurt you, but lying. And then just switch it around like you did something to them, right? Like, this is what the thing was. You're going to help the family. I said, no, I'm not going to help the family. Well, you got to remember, I fed you when you was 3 years old. What? You fed me when I was 3 years old. So that means we're supposed to give you a lump sum of money. And then when that didn't work, you're going to lie and say something I did not say. Just to try to get your way. So that means that you will lie, cheat, steal, and do anything. And because I won't let you in my house, all the gloves are off. Oh, I'm hip to the game. I know the T already. You never was on my team. So if you're going to come for the king, you better kill king. Because the same way we were chosen to suffer, we done seen some things. We know how people move. You guys know exactly how they're going to move before they do it. If you really sit down and meditate and sit there and think about a particular situation or person that God has put in your life, he will sit there and you will know exactly what card they're going to play next. Praise Yah. Absolutely. Praise Yah, soul sister. Praise Yah. Because this right here, this is the time. We were created for such a time as this. I am telling you. And see, this is another thing, guys. A couple years ago before I got the house, because we got this house in 2020, was brand new. we moved out of the first house that I had. That was the one Angie's List said was a complete, just get rid of it. I was asleep. And there was a voice saying to me, get your affairs in order and prepare to leave in 2028. And I woke up and I was crying. It said, get your affairs in order and prepare to leave in 2028. So my first reaction was, oh God, I'm dying. No. It said, get your affairs in order and prepare to leave. It didn't say die. Prepare to leave in 2028. We were born for such a time as this. Have y'all noticed that there's so much news happening at one time that people can't get a foothold either way? And then if you boil all these news stories and articles down to the hoo-ha, you got your empaths and you got your narcissists. In every walk of life. Police department, fire stations, government everywhere. Although unfortunately there seems to be a lot more narcs in the government. That's why a lot of sociopaths get these positions of power so they can have that authority unilaterally and nobody can question them. It's just something to think about. You know what I mean? Just something to, chew over and everything. But guys, I want to thank you guys for this being a very good first live. I'm so excited about doing lives now, guys. I'm so excited. And I want Earth Horse, Aqua, Love Gardening. I love gardening too. I love that. I just checked on my habaneros a little while ago. Tony Smoke, Soul Star, Intuitive Student. I want y'all to know that I appreciate this, guys, so much. We're getting, and as long as we pass this knowledge on to people, whether or not you're doing a forum like this, or whether it's TikTok or Instagram, or just privately messaging somebody, DMing them. That is what we can do, because these people some people act like they're not listening, but even your haters are listening. Because they're clamoring for this. Because that's why when something successful is getting ready to happen for you, don't tell them nothing. Never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. That's exactly what my granddad used to tell me. Never let the left hand know what the right hand doing. Why minimize your options like that? And I was like, Granddaddy, he was like, you're the only one who's going to be something. He said, and I'm thinking that don't sound right to me at that time, because I was the only one being abused. The black sheep, if you will. He said, they're going to call you and tell you that I died and you need to come back here. Don't come back here. He said, because they're going to kill each other. So I had just finished graduating college, and I came home from school because I was getting ready to quit. I had 6 months left on my course. I was like, double up my courses. Give me all the credits I can get, because either I'm going to quit or I'm going to finish. And I didn't go this far to quit, because as chosen ones, y'all know we don't quit. I'm like, look, whatever we got to do, let's get it done. Let's get deep in there and let's get it done. So I came home and there was 14 messages on my answer machine. And yes, to all those young ones out there, yeah, we had answer machines back then. Anthony, you need to call home. You need to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Granddaddy died. And I sat there and I was like, first thing that popped in my head, Granddaddy said, don't come back. They're going to tell you I died. Don't come back. So I put it out of my mind. They buried my granddad. And I went to the movies in Times Square. Came out. We was watching the Scooby-Doo movie, the first one. Came out over the landing over Times Square looking. And I was laughing about the movie and just bawling. He was like, my friend was like, what are you crying for? Oh, I figured out. When my narcissist told me my mom died, I got called into the kitchen to get the news when Scooby-Doo was on. My granddaddy was there with me. So when I started crying because my mom had died, the narcissist got up and left because emotion is weakness. And this was right after the time my granddaddy had died. I didn't come back. How about I heard that somebody fell asleep with a pot on the stove and almost burned granddaddy's house down with all of them in it. When he said don't go back, they're going to kill each other. Yeah, he meant that. And if when you guys, I'm telling you, when y'all start doing y'all no contact and gray rocking and getting to that place where I'll go outside of my yard and do my habanero plant, my beefsteak tomato plants, my asparagus, and you have that time to sit there and think and communicate, these memories are going to start to come back. And looking at it in review, you're going to start seeing, oh my gosh, it's been a steady progression. And these people down here, these narcs and these dang on flying monkeys and all these little minions and fools that they got going on are playing checkers. God is playing chess. And he's using you as the queen, because the queen is the strongest player on the chessboard. That queen can slice anybody. And while you've been sitting there being quiet the whole time trying to make sense of this, he's been putting you where he needs to, because God can get them back better than we ever could. Because if we had our way and there was no punishment, we would go off like the headless horse, chopping off heads, but we find them, okay, that. No. God is perfect in everything and present with everything. So them conversations we didn't hear, he heard. And he's moving in such a way so not only do they get what they got, but everybody who believed in these morons is going to start to see, well, wait a minute. Uh-oh. And I've had a couple people like that. It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm so proud of you. You wasn't proud before. I'm sorry. You made that bed. But now they're trying to get as far away from the people as possible. And because you have your boundaries up, they can't come in with no weak stuff, because they think you're going to just say what you need to say just to be in their presence. No. Whatever you got going on is between you and God. But the proof is in the pudding. That's between you and God. So whatever you went along with and whatever smear campaign you participated in and whatever foolishness you went along with, whoa, look, I forgive you. But forgiveness doesn't mean I'm allowing you back to finish off what you started. No, we're not doing that. That's between you and the Father. Good luck to you. Hey, and God is a forgiving being. You know what I mean? God is a forgiving being. But you don't really, what I didn't realize is that God was with me the whole time. And there's so many accountants. Like, there'll be more lives that I'll come and tell y'all some more about what's going on, because this is my first live, guys, and I appreciate you guys all. I did not realize I was like crying and praying for a purpose when I lived longer than my mother, but I do have a purpose, and you guys have a purpose too. Forgive them and move on. I forgive them, because without them, we would not be where we are right now. We would not have the knowledge we do. We could walk into any work, social situation and get a clear read on what's going on. No, that ain't what it seems. Well, yeah, you go over there, I'm going to hang out over here. Because there's an energy I haven't quite read yet, and there's something moving through here that don't feel right. And a lot of basic people won't understand that, oh, you think you better than us. No, we don't. You ever thought about it? You might be basic. You ever thought about the fact that I might be here for this particular purpose? Oh, you ain't going to hear me, but somebody watching you is going to be watching this. That's how legacies, that's how fables, that's how stories, that's how things are passed down from generation to generation. Only that we're in a social media generation now. Oh, somebody's going to hear about it. And if God protects you from all these pitfalls and traps and things that the enemy set, oh, he going to get the glory out of it. Yeah, he is. He going to get the glory out of it. And just when everything gets to that frenzy of, oh my God, and then, wham, everybody's going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you might not want to play with that person right there, because there's something else going on here. Yeah. I hope y'all don't mind me. I got to finish my cigarette. But it's very, very, very strange. Like, I honestly didn't think I had a purpose. I honestly thought that I was just here to be abused. I mean, because you go from one situation, or when my situation was a family situation to a relationship situation, and it just kept going. I was like, what in the world? Like, to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm so done. I'm just going to be with me by myself. Always, and even when fairy tales, like sometimes I watch Messed Up Origins on YouTube, guys, just to unplug. Because as chosen ones, our brains are going all the time. Because we've been in fight or flight mode for a very, very long time. So sometimes we can, even when we unplug, we still like to accumulate knowledge. Because I called it gold coins like the Mario Brothers game. I'll talk to somebody and just collect gold coins. Ooh, that's a bit of information. I was like, why do they call them hush puppies? Like when they do a fish fry down south, for those who are in the south. Because the slaves, when they got freed, they would still be under attack by the slave master's dogs. They would take breaded flour and throw it to the dogs to make the puppies hush so they could get by. Now that is a gold coin. I don't know when I'll need that, but that makes sense to me. And chosen ones are all, we all like that. We are all like that. If you think about it in your past, haven't you been sitting there like wondering, why is this way? Why is this like this? And you sit there and you chew on it. They call it chewing the fat. We've been like that. But see, that's the whole purpose of the channel. Is to make sure that we let these other people out here know. That way they don't have to go through what we went through. Which is why this person that was a narcissist, I spent so many years trying to get them to see better. Don't you want to make sure that your kids don't have to go through what we went through? No, they don't care about that. They only care about themselves. So every year when tax money came around, it went right to the wig shop. And I was like, this is a cycle of abuse. Every year it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And after a couple of years, it took me to my 40s to get it. Because they were coming at me from so many different directions that I was in fight or flight mode all the time. Like, what the heck is going on? To the point where I really resonated with Rip Van Winkle. Because I wanted to go off to a mountain somewhere and just be away from it all. So now I'm at this point where I kind of don't have a filter. I do, but I don't. It is what it is. Oh, I may be the bad guy, but I'm okay with that. You ain't going to be the hero in everybody's story. But your story is your movie. I'm not letting these NPCs, these non-playing characters, have a role in my movie anymore. And that's where you got to be too. It was a nightmare, and the narc was in church. That is the thing. Oh my God, so star. That is the thing. But if you remember now, like, this is what got me. I've been thinking about this too. Remember in the story of Jesus, Yahushua? The devil quoted scripture to him, didn't he? The devil's sitting right up in church. Usually probably in the front row with that big ass church hat on. But when the preacher comes down from the pulpit to kind of get the crowd into a frenzy, that's the main one doing the most. But feeding off of, in what place do a person want to get healed at more than church? So you got all these empaths looking for peace and looking for love, looking for some security. And you got all of these parasitic creatures, these demons, feeding off of them because the demon quoted scripture to Jesus. Who better to know what's in that book? And who knows better how to pervert that? Oh, you supposed to forgive me. So what? You can come in and do it again? In what world is this right? Oh my God, I'm in Narnia. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh, I forgive you for what you did. And that's between you and God. But you will no longer have access to come in and do it again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Because I allowed it the second time. Now, we passed that. We passed that. TFB. Oh yeah, it seemed like it was just like how could we be so unfortunate? Like, was we cursed? No. Our eyes is what God is seeing through, because He came to bear witness. He came to bear witness, and He's bearing witness through His chosen ones. They have been put in situations where the muck and the mire has been so deep. And a lot of times you sit there and you see stuff happen and people are saying things and you ain't saying nothing and you just sitting there allowing it all in. He's bearing witness through you. And eventually you're going to say something or you're going to feel something and something's going to happen where everybody's going to be looking at you And now you have all the experience and all the intel to be able to speak on that clearly and exactly know exactly what happened and what the situation is. And what you share with somebody is going to change their world and the people they touch, and it's going to spread like wildfire. We were born for this time. We were born for this time. Yeah, we were. And now I know what my purpose is. And there's no better feeling. Because a lot of times, y'all, when we were going through this stuff when we were younger or years ago or whatever, it just felt like we were just getting run through the gauntlet, getting batted back and forth. But once you have that purpose and you know what it is, it's all for the greater good. So you can go from being abused for no reason at all to having a purpose and knowing that what you're going through is going to help somebody else. There's no better feeling than that. Which is why I thank you guys for showing up. I really do thank you guys for showing up. This has been a tremendous first live for me, guys. I thank you guys so much for showing up. I thank you guys so much for showing up. And I love to sit here and watch you guys comment and message. That is so good. But I kind of got the bug now, so I'm going to be doing some more lives. Tomorrow, I probably might come back on here again. You know what I'm saying? I might come back on here again. I do have a phone conversation that I want to have with somebody who messaged me. And they want to talk to me for a while. And it's not like it's one of those paid things or anything like that. I'm just going to sit down and talk to this person because they wanted to talk to me. So I'm just going to take time out of my day and I'm going to talk to them. Because that's all we can do, guys. I mean, because if I had this information years ago, man, look, this whole thing would have been a lot different. But it happens when it's supposed to happen. And now that I have the wisdom to know that just because you can say anything doesn't mean you should all the time. So you pick your battles and you know how to move. And I love it. I love it. Let's give them hell out there, guys. Let's give them hell until they go into the grave and until hell where they belong. Because they ain't going to change. And there's no point in saving somebody who don't want to be saved. Let's give it to the people who need it. Do I feel like I'm a ninja, Miss Spanish Lady? Yeah. And it's really messed up because Kill Bill. Because for a time I felt like after all I was been through, I was like, ooh, I'm going to kill Bill. No. Because just because you could do something don't mean you should. Because I'm like, you know, if I wasn't built this way, I could take them all out. No. I'm not built that way. I can't do it. I can't even think about it for too long. I'm like, no, that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. No. Because it's not mine. It's vengeance, says the Lord. It's God's place. But what he is doing, even when I don't want to say something, sometimes I find myself saying one or two words that drops the hammer in a room full of people. It drops the hammer on them. And I'm like, you know what? And those one or two words just send shock waves through the room. Because God is using us. God is using us. And just because you can do something don't mean you should. But trust me, he will give you what you need to have, and he will tell you what you need to say exactly when you need to say it. And I've literally watched some of my old videos. And I was like, oh my goodness, that came out. He's already there. He's there already. He's in all of these rooms. He's already in these rooms. You want to come up here, cutie? He's already in these rooms. Yeah, he is. So, God's will be done. It will be done. And the more you get the time to spend with him, no, don't you get up there and mess up nothing. That's cutie. The more you get time, he starts using you more and more. More and more. To the point where it becomes such second nature to you that you think that it's you saying it. No, it's him. And a lot of those times when they were going through and abusing you in such a way and saying all these horrendous type things to you, He's using you to bear witness. He's using you to bear witness. And your eyes are the camera, and he's seeing it all. He's seeing it all. Because he's got his people in all. And you notice that us chosen ones are in the worst situations. Worst possible family dynamics. Worst friendship settings. Worst social settings. Worst jobs. Because we are there to absorb what we need to absorb. And have you ever noticed that when you left the job or left the situation, things went from bad to worse? Because the father got what he needed. He got what he needed. You were their Hail Mary. Because I've already got enough information, but I'm going to send somebody in there that I know can handle it. But I'm going to send them in there. And depending on when I pull them out of that situation, what is going down, I'm going to know exactly what to do. And as soon as you disappear from that situation, bing, bang, boom. It all goes the way it goes. But guys, this has been a very, very good live. Kind of don't want to go. We all have a dark side. But the thing of it is that this dark side also makes us attach more to the light. Because it would be so very easy for us to give into that dark side. But until you know how dark it can get, you don't know how much light to bring. So we just got to sit back, Soul Star, sit in silence and just let it play out. We have to let it play out. Because we know where we're going. We know what we've endured. And then as this time starts to move forward, you're going to start to see how things start lining up in such a way. And even in those quiet moments, I'm like, man, I'm just chilling, relaxing, watching something. And all of a sudden, bing, a thought pops into your head. He's always there. He's there. The Father is there. He's really, really there. Because I want you guys I want to thank you guys for this being a very, very good live. Very, very good live. And I am no longer new to live. I'm no longer new to live. And I want to thank you guys for making this a very, very nice experience. Especially you, Soul Star. Spanish Lady, yes. Aqua Loves Gardening, yes, yes. All of you in here. Mel, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. TFB, absolutely. Because in these next coming years, these next coming months, I'll be back doing more lives. I'm kind of hooked on it now. I kind of like this. I really do. Because I was so nervous. Because it's different when you get into the studio and you make your video. I mean, and all my videos are one felt tape. But being able to correspond live like this, it feels really good to connect to other chosen ones. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get into the studio and put it all together, and then you feel like there's nothing better than one-on-one. There's nothing better than this live correspondence with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I really, really appreciate that, guys. If you want to donate to the channel, or you have the ability to, the Cash App information is $ Anthony Young, capital A, capital Y, 1978, guys. If not, I'll appreciate the prayers, guys. I'll be back with more content, guys, because we got a lot more to cover. And I really, really appreciate you guys being here. It's like I really don't even want to go. Because we can get this information out to people so that they don't have to endure what we endure. They don't have to endure what we endure. And not for nothing, as long as we can make it better for somebody else, that's the whole overall goal, guys. But I'm getting ready to sign off, guys. This has been a very, very, very good night. I want all of you guys to have a great evening. Love you too, Soul Star. Miss Spanish Lady, absolutely. Aqua Loves Gardening, thank you so much, guys. I'm getting ready to sign off out of here. But until I talk to you again, guys, thank you for a wonderful, wonderful live. I'll talk to you again, guys. Peace.